nice surprise yesterday to get a little bit of rain here. Yeah. Certainly know we can use that water. And we were talking about the flood and flood management and stuff like that. I was thinking inside my head, doesn't that pertain to water and rain technically falling on the ground? So, in any case, we hope that that will happen. I wanted to go ahead and share some statistics with you for the month of March. Find them here. I will start off with collisions first. In the area of Agua, Dulce, and we had a total of 28 reported traffic collisions, of which 19 of those were reported that caused some injury. Unfortunately, one of those traffic collisions did result in fatal injuries to at least one occupant. That traffic collision occurred on March 25th of 2015 at about 8:45 in the morning. That was on Soledad Canyon Road, just south of Capra Road. So it doesn't affect the community of the downtown area here, but it's right off of Soledad. And preliminary investigation shows that one of the drivers of the vehicles are just veered off in the wrong direction, lost control, and then came back and caused a head-on collision. At this point, as far as I know, we're not seeking any prosecution in this collision itself. So, unfortunately, it's just an accident, and I'm sure nobody had any malintent in that one, but it did occur nonetheless. Of those 28 traffic collisions reported last month, none actually were caused by a DUI or determined to be caused by DUI, so it's good. Must have been a light month, because in DUI offenses we had 4 arrests in the area. There was only one other one that may have been related to DUI, but we couldn't prove the case, so as a result we took the person in custody solely for being intoxicated in public. So otherwise we're pretty quiet in regards to traffic collisions. I don't have any specific citation statistics for this area here. The only ones I have are for the Newhall area specific, so would be everything from 118 up to 138 from Ward Road down to the Ventura County line for January. I don't have any more. I don't have them updated any more than that. But looks like January I do have February. We got 2,500 speed citations issued. There were a total of 47 DUIs. There was 48 seatbelt, 48 seatbelt violations, 17 child restraint, and 38 distracted drivers, including cell phones or texting. And that's all I have in regards to statistics. We are in an enforcement period where we are certainly reinforcing the idea of teen distracted driving and those offenses, and how critical, how serious that could be, a problem that could be. So there is additional enforcement opportunities for the officers to do teen distracted driving this month, as well as education. Our public information officer, as well as other officers, do presentations at local high schools and venues which include teenage drivers. And the only other thing I wanted to push here was that tomorrow we're going to be participating in a tip and cop event, and that's going to be at Claim Jumper. Thank you. Claim Jumper in Santa Clarita on the Old Road tomorrow evening from 5 o'clock, I believe, to about 9 o'clock. So you guys are all welcome to come out there. I know it's a little bit out of the way, but any of the proceeds or any of the donations that are covered in on that day of that event are actually going to go towards the Special Olympics, and it'll be the local chapter here in the Santa Clarita, Greater Santa Clarita Valley area. So anything you do donate at that time will go to those student athletes that are participating here locally. So with that in mind, I also want to tell you that part of the Highway Patrol's enforcement efforts and education are actually granted to us by virtue of some of our volunteers. And in this case today, we have our administrator for our senior volunteer program. And this is the program that is dedicated here to the Newhall area. There is a program in our Animal Valley office. I wanted to introduce Harry Fischer here tonight. That way he can give you a little bit of idea. I know you guys have heard it from me in the past, but he can give you his personal knowledge, insight as to how the program functions here, as well as maybe put a little recruitment effort forward there. Our new captain is very much in favor of the program and knows that their efforts do certainly contribute to the overall safety and well-being of everyone here. And as a matter of fact, I'm sure you'll see them every now and then deploying the radar trailer and those kinds of things out here. But in any case, Harry Fischer.
Thank you, Officer Vargas. Council, thank you very much for allowing me to spend a few minutes with you this evening in audience. As Officer Vargas said, my name is Harry Fischer and I'm the Senior Volunteer Administrator for the Newhall area office. And I've been with the volunteer program for approximately 3 years. And a year and a half ago, I was elected to be the volunteer administrator. What we do is we are a non-law enforcement entity for the Newhall office. As Officer Vargas said, some of our activities that we do to augment the office are clerical work at the front desk, answering telephones, deploying the radar trailer, and we do school patrols where we'll actually go inside a school property, look for anything suspicious and report it if necessary. But more so when we're out of the office in a black and white and we are marked as volunteers, it adds another visible level to the community because, as you know, law enforcement is on a tight budget and sometimes they can't be everywhere at once. So if we can go ahead and put another vehicle on the road, act as another set of eyes and ears for the community, let a uniformed officer know that we might see something that needs their help, then they'll dispatch an officer to our location to see what it is that we need assistance in, and then we'll back away from whatever it is and allow them to do their work. We also do public affairs such as the Agua Dulce parade and other community affairs and public items where we support the community. We do some traffic control where if we get a complaint from someone in the community, we'll go out and we'll monitor that area for whatever time duration is requested of us. We'll bring that information back to the office, present it to our coordinator, and at that time they'll determine whether or not officer enforcement is necessary. And then we also do the car fit program for our seniors that are 55 and over. With the new modern vehicles that they have now and all of the electronics, sometimes they're not familiar with all of the gadgets and how they should properly sit and fit in the vehicle. So we have those programs available as well. As Officer Vargas had mentioned earlier, our Captain Cruzy, our new commander, he's one that actually wants to get more embedded within each of the communities that we serve. And as such, we'd like to give you some brochures and some literature on our volunteer program. We do have an academy that we can put you through, so you learn about the esprit de corps of the community. You do have to be 55 or over, and we have an application for you to put out as well. And what our goal is to try to recruit at least one member of each of the communities that we serve. That way, you can be more in touch with and learn more about the law enforcement aspect to basically bring the level up of your knowledge. And you'll become a more active member in your community, and it really, really will help us do our job better for you. We serve you well now, we want to serve you better. Thank you.
Great.
So I've got some brochures. I can also leave you some applications if you'd like. You've got the office number, and what I can do is get your email address from Officer Vargas, and then put you in touch with me directly if you have any questions.
Great.
What would you like?
If you want to just set my ear in this corner, it'd be ideal. April and May is local artist Mark Agua, and if you haven't been in the meeting room yet this month, they just put up the art on Monday, and it's very nice, very colorful. And this artist in particular is one of the ones that will actually also sell his work if you are interested. And then later this month, we have for the kids, next Tuesday, we have our activity for Dia de los Niños on Tuesday, April 14th at 3:30. And then we're also having a marionette show on Thursday, April 23rd at 3:30. For the adults, we are having our Celestial Explorations program on the Wednesday the 22nd at 6:30, and this time the lecture is about the life cycle of stars. And then we're having at the end of the month on the 27th, Dr. Sarah Barnes from Sweetwater Veterinary Clinic will be doing a presentation on what to look for when buying a horse. So all of the things that you're considering purchasing a horse, things you need to consider, and also things that you should look for, and definitely you would want to have a pre-purchase veterinarian examination. And also our friends at the Acton State Library are having their semi-annual book sale this month. It's going to be the weekend of April 18th and 19th. And then they'll also be having their Junk in the Trunk parking lot sale on Sunday the 19th. So that is what's happening at the library this month. And then I have announcements regarding our staffing at the Acton State Library. I've been promoted. I'm now the community library manager of our Lancaster branch. And my appointment began on an unofficial basis in November, so I've been doing kind of double duty at both libraries, but it's now officially confirmed, so they've been able to bulletin the Acton position, so they will be recruiting for a new manager. And our children's librarian, Vanessa Vallejos, has accepted a position in New Mexico, where she grew up, and so her last day is actually going to be next Wednesday, the 15th. And our library assistant, Legal Holmes, has transferred to Lancaster as well, and her replacement will be starting April 16th. So you'll be getting a whole new full-time staff at the Acton State Library. The new library manager, you know, LA County Civil Service, it typically takes anywhere from like 2 to 3 months for a full-time person to be installed. The good news is unlike when the situation that was going on when I came on board, this was better planned for and more anticipated, so there won't be quite as much of a lag time. But the good news is we do have somebody who's redeploying from library headquarters coming out to Acton starting next week to be there on a full-time basis while they do the recruitment. And that would be David Wysocki, and he is our nonfiction materials selector in collection development, and he's been a manager, you know, for many years before. He managed Hacienda Heights and Paramount, so he'll be coming out, driving all the way from Azusa each day to oversee Acton in the interim. But it's certainly been a pleasure being here, and I will continue to attend the council meetings, and I will be at the Acton Library. I'm usually there a day a week in this kind of transition process, and I'll be very pleased when I can introduce the new community library manager to the council and the community.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Valerie. But you are still going to be, you still are going to attend our meetings until you can introduce whoever's going to take whoever your replacement is.
Yes, absolutely.
Good evening, members of the City Council. How are you today?
Good.
You know, I'm here to give you a little update. Edison has invested a lot of capital expenditure in our communities, in our cities, and we're going to be doing a lot of work on the Davenport Circuit Rehabilitation Project. And we discussed it as far as outreaching to our community, let you know that our Edison vehicles are going to be out here along with some of our contractors. So I asked one of our managers to put together a little report so that you understand, you know, the type of equipment that we're going to be upgrading. So let me read it to you. You know, so it is a circuit rehabilitation project, County of LA. We've been working with the County of LA for any permits that are needed. It is here in our community. The funding was earmarked for this year. So in other words, the work has to be executed starting next week and to the end of the 2015. It tells me here about October, but to be on the safe side, we'll say until the end of the year. The project is consisting of 3 miles of aged overhead mainline wire, and we're going to be upgrading it to new overhead wire that has more electrical capacity. We're going to be replacing approximately 80 power poles, a number of overhead switches and transformers. The location of this project is on Agua Dulce Canyon Road and Sierra Highway, and it's going to proceed along Agua Dulce Canyon Road to Davenport Road. The crews are also going to be replacing overhead wire, poles, and equipment along Barber Road as part of the mainline circuit. Safety is our #1 priority, not only for our residents, for our visitors, and especially for our crews that are working in the area. Like I've mentioned, we've already obtained the permits and we're ready to move forward, and we will provide the traffic control as needed and requested. On notification, whenever there's going to be a maintenance outage, we do give notification to our customers, so you do receive notification about 9 days prior. The only time you don't get notification is if there is an emergency outage. Those notifications will be going out to our customers. Due to the large number of poles to replace, Edison has secured the services of other high-voltage electrical contractors. I'm not sure whether it's going to be hotline. I could probably give you more information or email it to you as I find out who all is going to be out here. And we are coordinating efforts to make this project proceed in a safe and effective manner. And, once again, I just wanted to make sure that you all were aware, our residents, that there's going to be a lot of Edison and contractor work out here along these areas. And I did pass out my business card to you all for any of you residents that may need to call me for any issue regarding Edison. My name is Ana Frutos Sanchez. My office number is 661-257-8239. And that's mine.
Okay, one question. You said Davenport, but it sounds to me like it's probably from Davenport to Sierra Highway, because they already started up here at the top of Agua Dulce at Sierra Highway.
Yes.
So that's the stretch that they're going to be doing the work.
Correct.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And if there's any issues, any concerns, call me. You have my cell, you have my office, you have my email. I know that you noted a special request. Give me a call, we'll discuss that and get to the bottom of that. Okay?
All right, great.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. You want to go ahead and
Yeah,
share with us?
Union Bank of Canyon Country has offered to take our bank account at no cost to us. So if we all agree to transfer the account down there, they're ready, willing, and waiting.
Great. All right. So you want to put that in one?
So yeah, with that form of motion, we'd like to have President Don Henry go to the bank in the next couple of weeks, along with Secretary Mary Johnson. A copy of the minutes reflecting that this is our wish, and the motion has been granted. So,
Any discussion on that?
I second it.
Second by Mary. Any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Okay,
Troy.
thanks.
Awesome.
all the years are done.
Save us half a rent. Okay. Incoming correspondence for action, we have a letter to Agua Dulce the Acton Town Council supporting the joint efforts of both the Agua Dulce and Acton Town Council's participation in the Community Resilience Coalition and supporting the continued coalition.
We should probably do that.
That's what I'm thinking.
We have that.
Dear President Croisdale, the Agua Dulce Town Council is proud of the work the Acton Agua Dulce Community Resiliency Coalition has accomplished since the coalition was formed 3 years ago. Ham radio training sponsored by the coalition has already increased the pool of experienced operators in the community. Plans for additional training group has also held numerous community forums inviting agencies and representatives from specific sectors to learn about the coalition and to provide expertise in certain areas. This increases the community awareness and response needed in emergencies. Their current projects include water awareness, enhancing the disaster planning website, forming a community medical response team, awareness of psychological stress related to disasters, establishment of a ham radio local network, and a community mobile information center to enhance area recovery. The coalition has achieved great progress in establishing key relationships between our communities for mutual aid. It is important that we continue the teaming effort after the official Los Angeles County funding expires in June of 2015. The Agua Dulce Town Council is fully supportive of the continued partnership of both Acton and Agua Dulce Town Council's interests in the Acton Agua Dulce Disaster Coalition. In an effort to keep the partnership active, we ask that you formally provide your approval and support of this important joint community benefit. Sincerely, Don Henry, President. So, any discussion on this particular letter? Someone like to make a motion that we
I
approve the
move
sentiment
that we
as...
approve as written and sent.
Okay. Do I hear a second? Second. Any more discussion?
I'd like to thank Gary for
Definitely.
all of the work that he's put into it, because it's paid off.
And he's here on his birthday.
Birthday.
So when he leaves inconspicuously after we and he's entitled. Okay? It's not that he's not concerned about our meeting. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, perfect.
Hi, Steve Real. I'll start with the basics. Our spaghetti dinner, for everybody that knew that we had done that, was a big success. We're still putting together our bills. We've still got a couple of bills outstanding. And once we know our exact number, then we'll have it published in the Country Journal, and then our core group and some people that have been active with us will decide how much we're sending up to the Central Valley. They've kind of advised us now that they'd like to see us keep some of our money here, simply because I think they're a little worried about what's happening to all of us down here now too. So their fight for Prop 1A is going fast and furious, and fast and furious, that wasn't a good thing. Where did that come from? Don't like that. Our meeting for our core coalition is next Monday night at the library from 6 to 7:30. What we're going to do next week, I broke my glasses yesterday, so these are some readers that aren't, I keep taking them off because I'm good, I'll just try. So I can't read, and if I look silly, that's why. Anyway, our meeting next week is going to be about, we want to divide up into smaller groups and maybe get somebody working just on a political part of it, somebody doing a little bit more with our politicians, that type of thing, and maybe planning our next fundraiser, at least getting it in the planning stages. I know we had talked to you, Don, about doing a horse event and really trying to just do it for publicity more than anything, not really for a fundraiser, but to get the TV stations and radio stations out here to show them exactly what our two communities are. They're rural, equestrian, dog owners, people that want privacy. So that's what our meeting is about on Monday. And of course on the 27th, no, is it the 27th at Canyon High School? Do I have the date?
Yes.
27th. It's at 7:30. 7, so I didn't have that right either. Which is on Nadell Street. I don't have an exact address yet.
19300.
What is it?
19300.
19300. Okay. So again, they're striving for 1,500 people. That's what they would like to see there, and I'm sure they're going to have the media and the radio and TV stations, and that's what they're telling us. It's basically for publicity, get involved. So in the middle of all this, today, I got an article written by Luke Money, who is a reporter that's helped us in the past with the signal. So I don't know if anybody here saw the article, but it says Sunland is pushing for a high-speed rail station. I'm dumbfounded. So I made
And that
10.
wasn't an April Fool's joke?
Okay, that's good. That's gonna knock me off my socks. So apparently they've got plans. I didn't print out the plans.
Hopefully they want a tunnel ride too.
They want a tunnel, and they're talking about moving their post office and their library. So I've got 4 other
So
copies
that,
here for
that
anybody.
would line up more with the forest route.
Yes.
Yes, it would be. It would be.
So, yay, Sunland.
Well, I just can't even believe it.
I know.
I'm like, hello, where did this come about?
Yeah,
So
okay,
that's an interesting
it is.
thought, but I just got it tonight. I'm trying to get a hold of the mayor of San Fernando because she was very interested in joining with all of us, make sure we can stay together. And of course, Sunland, Tonga, and all those areas, they had their own agenda. So maybe they're coming around, I don't know. On April 1st and April 2nd, Jackie Eyre and myself followed the sound engineers from the High Speed Rail Authority around Acton. They had 6 properties that they set up sound equipment on for a 24-hour study on each property. 4 of them were north of Sierra Highway and the 14 freeway, and 2 were south. One was down Mary Hill, Soledad area, right up on top of a hill, and I know this equipment is very, very effective, very touchy to every single sound, and it was extremely windy those 2 days, so we're waiting to hear what the results were. We, of course, were not allowed to go onto the properties or look at the equipment or speak to the engineers. But we were able to follow them so that we could determine where they were.
Okay.
So, to me, it looks like a lot of people didn't give them permission to come onto their properties because the 4 north were right in the line. Anyway, interesting.
There's 4 north this year, and you said 2 south?
Yeah, and one of them, we couldn't actually do the sound study on, and it was right next to Stallion Meadows, and the reason was the owner said, you can only come on the property if I'm home, and he wasn't at home. So that one didn't get equipment set on, and then the other one was way down Soledad, up by Mary Hill.
So you're saying, do you think that they trespassed on the property, or?
No, they had permission. They had permission. No, they didn't. They couldn't go onto the properties, and we couldn't go on the properties to look close at anything.
Right, because you weren't part of their...
No. And they sent their PR people to make sure that Jackie and I minded our P's and Q's. And we did. We didn't talk to anybody, we just took pictures and did our thing. So we wanted to know where they were, so what were they studying? We've also got the letter that the mayor from Santa Clarita proposed to Dan Richard. Did you guys
We haven't talked about that yet.
Okay, perfect. So I've got 3 copies with me tonight before I ran out of ink, before I ran over here. So I don't know if you want them or should I give them to,
I think we've all got copies.
okay, great. And then the other thing, of course, is, which you've already talked about, was Assembly Bill 1138, and that was Assemblyman Jim Patterson. So I do have copies to make it easy for everybody, to make sure that we try to get several hundred out of each community and mailed up. And I understand this is going before the Assembly sometime at the end of the month. But 22nd, 25th, I don't remember. Do you remember, Lillian?
I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
11:38.
11:38.
I think it was the 27th.
Was it the 20? For some reason I'm drawing a blank here tonight.
27th to 28th.
Well, the sooner we get it in, the better.
Yeah, we got it.
19th or something, wasn't it?
For 11:38?
Yeah. wasn't it like the 19th?
It's going before the assembly.
Okay, I haven't gotten a direct date.
Okay. All right, I'll try to get that to
In the
you.
next couple of weeks.
So I,
Pam, one question on that.
yeah,
As I understand the way I've been telling you, all they really need to do is put their name on the top of that letter,
yeah,
their name and address
Yep.
on the top, and sign it and mail it.
that's right.
Okay. And even if they're not in Agua Dulce or if they're in
That's-
Ventura, they can sign it. Because
Anybody,
it actually pertains to the financial end of it too.
it's for the whole state. It affects everybody in the state and how this money is going to be handled by the High-Speed Rail Authority. So I've got copies of that letter and off we go with that. And let's see, what else do I have in my part tonight? And anybody that needs more information about Assembly Bill 1138, it was in the Country Journal last week on page 14 and 15. So it's easy to determine what's going on. Okay, I think that's it for me.
That's it.
I believe so. Our Facebook page is doing well. Our website is being redone right now and getting more up to date with articles, and we're trying to get more people on our email list so that we can just email to hundreds of people. So that's what we're striving for.
Perfect.
So we're still
Get a
doing
good
the fight.
network going.
Yeah, we do. It's fun.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Pam.
it. Appreciate all the work you do. 24 hours a day.